likely to have asthma than kids of any other races in America, and much more likely to live near polluting plants and in rental housing with mold and other triggers because of the racist housing policies in the nation's past. Their asthma is often more severe and less likely to be controlled because of poor medical care and the mistrust of doctors. Just when we thought we had all the disparities we could shake a stick at, here we go again with Canadian wildfire smoke as an extension of climate change negatively impacting African Americans. Climate change is a global issue. It is a national issue. It's a local issue. Admittedly, the black policy struggle for equality has not focused on climate change, but if the summer of 2023 has showed us anything, now it certainly should be.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yes, Brittany, I'm on YouTube. Either Ben or Kyle messed it up some kind of way. They had the morning show labeled as my show. All right, so there's this op-ed that ran in the Journal Sentinel. Full disclosure, I was approached a couple of weeks ago by James Cowsey to do an op-ed in the Journal Sentinel on the sales tax increase. I think James had either heard or been made privy to the conversations that we had about the 2% sales tax increase that's only being levied on the city of Milwaukee. And I, and along with a bunch of you, have some very strong opinions about that because it's categorically unfair. And the additional strings that were attached to our 2% sales tax increase was it was evil. It was sinister, and it went counter and contrary to what a democratic city wanted. We didn't need more police in the schools. There was no need to change the formula and the format of our fire and police commission. There's already an issue with regular, average, everyday citizens having their complaints heard, registered, and resolved. The previous incarnation of the Fire and Police Commission did as good a job as they probably could in hearing and resolving some of the complaints that citizens may have in regards to law enforcement, firefighters, etc. Well, now it's going to be a board that is full of police officers and firefighters that are going to be in charge with disciplining their own. There is no independent civilian oversight board. That was intentional. It was sinister to do that to the city of Milwaukee. Not to mention the additional 25 police. We took cops out of MPS schools in 2016. I thought it was something closer to like 2020, like the George Floyd era. But no, the cops have been out of MPS schools since 2016. And that was something that the board, who is an elected body, decided, hey, we don't want this anymore. And the people that vote for us on the MPS school board don't find it necessary to have police in the schools because I'd imagine, depending upon the neighborhood, depending upon the school, residents, citizens, and voters would rather have the cops outside of the school patrolling the streets, like catching reckless drivers and whatnot. There's a story here. I'm going to get back to this op-ed in just 1 second, but there's a story coming out of Minnesota where they also have school resource officers throughout the state of Minnesota that got cops in schools, right? Well, they changed the state law so that police were not using certain holds, certain restraints, like the kids can't be face down, you can't block the kids' airway. So they put this in state law now, where the police can't use certain types of restraints. Now, these are children now. I know we want to see teenagers as grown adults. They're not. So they said, okay, if we're going to have cops in schools in Minnesota, let's change the state law to make illegal some of these chokeholds and restraints that we know can cause harm to grown men, let alone children. You know what the cops did in Minnesota? They walked out of the schools. They changed the state law to protect children from incidentally or accidentally being injured or killed by the police. And the cops basically said, we can't work like this. If we can't use those kinds of restraints on children, then we are going to leave the schools altogether. Isn't that crazy? Talk about a bunch of spoiled brats, and they have guns, right? Like they have the right to kill people. And if they can't use a particular type of restraint, they don't want to be in the schools at all. And so here's why I'm worried. We passed no such state law in Wisconsin. So whatever restraints or holds cops can use, either based on their training or the kind of restraints and holds that they will use on adults out in the streets, it is perfectly legal for them to use those restraints and holds on children. That is yet another reason why it is a waste of time, effort, energy, and money to have cops in the schools. They're better off out on the street. But I think some of them cops are scared to be on the street. I think they'd rather be in a place with a bunch of soft targets, a bunch of kids, right? Not the kids can be a walk in the park, but if given the option, a police officer out there on the street, patrolling the street and going and answering a domestic violence call, which are way more dangerous for police than probably anybody else, those cops would rather be in the schools beating up the kids. However, I digress. Right, so here's the op-ed. And it talks about Appleton East High School attempted to throw a back-to-school meet and greet, but only for its freshman students of color. And so just reading that on its face, so what? That's great. Let them come together and meet. Now, you got to keep in mind, Appleton, Wisconsin has got a very particular history. It is a sundown town. I did a story a couple of weeks ago. This is back in the 1960s, the 1970s. You have a university in Appleton, Lawrence University, and it's a small private college, but they have an athletics team. They've got sports, right, with Lawrence University. And sometimes Lawrence University would play other colleges from somewhere else, from out of town, from different states, okay? And sometimes, depending upon the sport and the schedule of the game, those students from those other schools would have to stay overnight in Appleton. Well, they couldn't. Because if you were black, even if you were visiting from another place in town to play Lawrence University, when the sun went down, those black students had to leave the city limits of Appleton. And then there's a bunch of articles where there's several families in Appleton that thought that was ridiculous, so they would open up their homes for these black students from other colleges. And the only reason why the black students were there is because they were there for an athletic contest where they were playing Lawrence University. So there was a number of white families that said, no, you don't have to go out of town. You can stay here with us. So there's a history there. Now, you also got to keep this in mind. I got to reinforce this to white folks. They think that that stuff is ancient history. Because those things happened a long time ago, that there's no remnants of that kind of racial bias anymore. I assure you, all of that racial bias is still there. It's just a bit more covert. Back in the day, white folks would just run around yelling the N-word and wouldn't nothing happen to them. They can't say the N-word now. They really want to, though, don't they? In fact, they want to say it so bad. Now that they can't say it, they don't want anybody to say it. Or they'll say some stupid stuff like, it's the same just ignorant logic. Like, well, I'm not racist. I have black friends. Well, how come you guys get to say the N-word and we can't? And if you hear somebody say that, walk away from them, because they're not going to understand the complexities of the world. Just don't even engage with them, because somebody's going to end up getting hurt. So when these Appleton students, when they're going to have this orientation for freshman students of color, obviously a bunch of people got mad. And it wasn't the black students that got mad. It wasn't the students of color. It was white parents and white students. The school subsequently opened the event to all of its freshman students, in large part due to public backlash and the intervention of the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty into this clearly unconstitutional behavior by a public entity. Like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, if you're going to have an orientation where students of color that are going to be in a white environment in a town that has a history of being sundown, why not allow those students to get to know each other in a separate, safe environment where they can be free and speak freely amongst one another and lament about the problems that they certainly are going to face when they are thrown into a majority white school? What are white people so afraid of? Now, of course, when the Wisconsin Institute of Law and Liberty gets involved, they're going to threaten to sue, and school districts don't want to be sued. So what the school did is they probably backed down and said, look, we don't need people suing us because we want to give a safe place, a safe space for our students of color who are freshmen. Being a freshman is hard enough. You don't know what's going on when you're a freshman. You just starting high school. You don't know all the details of being a high school student. Being a freshman in high school is very different than being in middle school. And then also being a student of color is going to be different as well. I just wish more people could appreciate how difficult it can be when you walk into a room, a boardroom, a classroom, onto the assembly line, walking into the warehouse for your job, and you are the only person that looks like you. White folks oftentimes don't know what that's like. They don't know what that tension is. And if they do feel that tension, they'll let you know. Take a white person to a place, a white person that grew up in a traditional white suburban neighborhood. They went to white churches and white schools, white colleges. They got a white spouse, got a bunch of blonde hair, blue-eyed white kids. Take that white person and put them in an environment where they're the only white person. They freak out. They can't stand it. In fact, they don't even want to be in those environments. So what do? They self-segregate. They make sure that there's plenty of white folks everywhere they go, where they shop, where they have recreation, because they know they feel comfortable around one another. And here's the thing. I don't care. I don't care if the white folks feel comfortable around one another. But what they can't do is inject their privilege and say, well, no, students of color, they can't come together and have their own little separate meeting or separate orientation because that's offensive to us. How come we're not invited? Because you're not. White folks in one form or another control the public spaces. White Republican legislators control our tax money. They control police going into our schools. They control our tax money going to renovate the Brewers Stadium that most black folks don't even go to, but all black folks pay taxes. But if we want to have our own separate space, they have a problem. I got more to say about this op-ed. I'll talk about that on the other side. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back shortly.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Are you or anyone you know looking for a new job opportunity? Attend the City of Milwaukee Job Fair on Thursday, September 28th from noon to 4 p.m. at one of the 3 convenient locations. Location 1 on the north side at New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, located at 2433 West Roosevelt Drive. Location 2 on the south side at Basilica of St. Josephat, located at 2333 South 6th Street. In location 3 on the northwest side at Ross Innovative, located at 7800 West Brown Deer Road. Brought to you by Milwaukee Council President Jose Perez and council members Andrea Pratt and Larissa Taylor. 3 locations, 1 mission, helping you take your next step towards employment. Sponsored by Milwaukee Common Council, Direct Connect Milwaukee, Northwest Side CDC, State Department of Workforce Development, UMOS, Ross Innovative Employment Solutions, Employ Milwaukee, Milwaukee Urban League, Fathers Making Progress, Goodwill Industries of Southeast Wisconsin, Office of Violence Prevention, Maximus, Milwaukee Public Schools, and the City of Milwaukee.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
Justice is about receiving what we deserve. Quote Audre Lorde, who said, "There is no such thing as a single issue struggle because we do not live single issue lives." And that said, any freedom, including reproductive freedom, is our human right to decide what is best for our own lives. Reproductive freedom is about having bodily autonomy, which is the same as being able to control what happens to our bodies, including the decision to continue or terminate a pregnancy, rests with the pregnant person at all times and in all circumstances. Because when rights don't apply to all individuals and at all times, they are not rights. They are not rights. And as Black people, our rights are conditional way too often, whether we're talking about during police encounters, quality housing, or, some job opportunity.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute on the new 1017 The Truth.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Literally one call, that's all.
I made one call, and that's all, worry-free.
One call, that's all. It worked.
Just one call, and that's all.
They will do what they say they're going to do. One call, and that's all.
One call, that's all means security.
It's literally one call, that's all.
It's a phrase we'll never forget.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. It may not be how they envisioned clinching the division, but the Brewers are National League Central champions despite a 4-1 loss to the Cardinals.
Iglesias pitch, a swing and a miss, and the Brewers, for the third time in 6 years, are the National League Central Division champions, and this crowd stuck around.
The Braves erased a 6-run deficit to beat the Cubs, and the Brewers claim their spot at the top of the Central Division for the third time in 6 years. Brewers are back at it tonight. Coverage getting underway at 6:20 WTMJ, beginning at 6 p.m. The Green Bay Packers are just 1 day away from their Week 4 showdown with the Detroit Lions on Thursday night. The Packers getting some encouraging news on the injury front Tuesday. Aaron Jones expected to return to action, as is second-year wideout Christian Watson. Packers-Lions kick off Thursday night at 7:15. This sports update is brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Remember, FDIC.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Well, it's a marvelous night for a moon dance with the stars.
Yeah, James Cowley reached out to me, and I feel bad because I expressed some interest in writing an op-ed for the Journal Sentinel, and then I realized how much I just don't respect the publication. Like the damage that they have done, like under the guise of journalism, to disrespect black people, black communities, black thought, black academia. It's deplorable. And that's why the readership is going down. Like the demographics of this nation are changing, right? And the new demographics of the United States of America are not Journal Sentinel readers. It's usually a bunch of angry suburbanites. If you don't believe me, go look at the comments. When they post articles on the Facebooks, on the internet, and people comment, it's just always a bunch of angry white racists. I'm not sure what's worse. Because, over at WTMJ, 6:20 a.m., they have a talk-to-text line, too. And I've done shows over there. It's been a while. I'm not exactly in a hurry to go back. But just my appearance on the show, and it's usually very specific when I'm on TMJ, it's because we're covering an election, the results of an election. We're talking politics, right? I prefer to be with John Mercure. They're all very fine journalists over there, but John Mercure and I got great chemistry. He's a good dude. Conservative, but he has a lot of understanding. Like, he gets it. When I sit down over at TMJ, because they got to talk to text line too, it just lights up with racial hate. I ain't even spoke a word yet, and it's just the text message. Oh, it's so bad. It's just something else. And so here's the hard part. I can't respond. Because then you know what happens when you go back and forth with somebody. It's a whole mess. So that's that. Let's see what we got here. But legal issues aside, and so this is written by a guy named Shannon Whitworth, who I believe is either a teacher or an administrator at, I got to get it right, Milwaukee Lutheran? No, Wisconsin Lutheran. Milwaukee Lutheran. He's the director of the Free Enterprise Academy at Milwaukee Lutheran High School. That sounds like a Republican group. But he's an African-American man. And his position on this op-ed is, it's not right, it's not fair for students of color to have their own orientation. Because what that does, in his opinion, this is coming from an African-American man, and he just says such horrible things about black kids. He thinks that encourages racism. when students of color want to have their own space, their own place where they can talk and commiserate and share ideas and figure out how to cope, he thinks that that encourages racism. This is the part about inclusion that still is racist. For so long, white people had the option and the luxury to completely separate and segregate themselves from us and take resources with them, okay? And so if we, to deal with the history of that, which isn't even taught, if we want to have our own places and spaces, we can't, because then they label us as segregationists. The iron grip that white supremacy has creeps in every corner of our society. Even when black people, to deal with how the untaught history, our untaught history, harms them because it keeps them ignorant, and harms us because we can be threats simply because of our race. People don't know anything about us, and so they just automatically assume the worst about us. They overthink us, and they think that we are big and scary. There's an article in Vox where they did a series of studies, and they put them all together in a really long article. I was trying to figure out how I could like chop it up and decipher it and present it to y'all, but it's just too much. That just white people see black men as just scary. That's basically what it boils down to. And they even did some things where they, interchanged the person's face with the body. As soon as you put a black face on even a small, meek, skinny, demure body, white people they're just more afraid, naturally, because they don't know anything about us. And so to deal with all of those issues, and there's so many more, like we wouldn't need our own spaces if they would just teach us and everybody else about who we are and how hard we've worked and how 9 times out of 10, we are the ones who are the most nonviolent. We resist violence. Isn't that crazy how they always quote Dr. King whenever they see a black person getting really angry and burning a little stuff and looting some stuff? They say, ooh, Dr. King said nonviolence. Don't be nonviolent. We're the most nonviolent people. I know y'all don't want to see it that way. Like, we didn't kill the Native Americans and build a country. We didn't steal land and say that we discovered it. We didn't bring disease and wipe out whole populations. We didn't bring weapons nor create weapons of mass destruction to drop on a people of color country called Japan. That's not us. We didn't do that stuff. They are the most violent. And so to deal with their potential violence that lurks around the corner, because if you are a person of color, your skin color can get you killed. It can. Got a bunch of examples. Y'all want some names? I got many. There's a lot. And to deal with that, if we want to have our children have their own spaces where they can feel comfortable and let their guard down, they call us the segregationists, and that promotes racism. Shannon Whitworth says, but legal issues aside, I continue to be amazed at how the purveyors of these kinds of ideas either do not or refuse to see the harm they do to the very people they purport to champion. Ideas like having a separate event solely for people based on the color of their skin does not set these students up for success in school, because it shields them from the people who could be integral to their success and binds them to people who could hurt their opportunities for success. This is insane to me. This black man is saying when black people want to come together and have a place and have a space where we can talk and work together and have our discussions, he believes that excluding white people hurts us, and being inclusive of black people as black people harms us. This is why I'm glad I didn't write an op-ed for the Journal Sentinel, because I couldn't be featured in the same publication as somebody like this. And here's what makes this man even more dangerous. He says, I'm the director of the Free Enterprise Academy at Milwaukee Lutheran High School. Milwaukee Lutheran is a choice school. Well over his words now, where well over 90% of the students are inner city, economically disadvantaged black kids. Like, you couldn't describe black kids lower than that. Like, that's what they are. Inner city, that gives you a connotation because you think of something in your mind. Economically disadvantaged, poor. And of course, not African Americans, not of African descent, not kids of color, but black kids. So there are some commonalities amongst those students. However, the actual diversity amongst the group is broad. Now listen to this part. In terms of academic preparedness, ambition, intellectual capacity, drive, focus, and faith, the differences are substantial. He says, I can attest from personal experience that a black student who is serious about learning the subject matter when in a classroom setting is extremely frustrated with the black class clown who prevents the teacher from being able to teach. Lumping those students together, especially because of their racial background, brings everyone down. It's insane to me. He's literally saying that when you have black children together in a space, and there's going to be a class clown no matter what. Sometimes the damn class clown is the teacher because they're poorly prepared. That's the most clown stuff you can do in a classroom if you ask me. Well, by saying that putting black children together hurts black children, like, look, I get it. Like, the propaganda that's been aimed at us as black people, it's natural to hate, to disrespect, or to diminish black people. It's natural because the media's played a role, movies have played a role, music certainly plays a role, American culture plays a role, American history plays a role. Like, how do you have any respect for people that were slaves, right? Even though we're kind of free, when you think about it, because there's a lot of folks in this country that think that we started from slavery, like we had no history. We didn't teach the world, math, astronomy, philosophy. They don't tell everybody that part. They just think that black people would just run around naked with a loincloth on with some spears, hunting stuff, and we just didn't know anything about anything. And then we came over here and we became slaves and we learned English. We learned how to dance. We learned hip hop music. That's what they think of us. And to have an African-American man who is an educator promoting these stereotypes, you're going to see a lot more of this. You're going to see a lot more African-Americans that hate black people, hate black culture, want to separate themselves from it, and want to talk about how bad it is and how detrimental it is. You're going to see them being featured much more prominently, like the critical race theory commercial. And they're running that commercial. Oh, it's everywhere. The first time I seen it, y'all didn't see it because they weren't running it everywhere. Now it's everywhere. You're going to see a lot more of that as time goes on. I'm going to take another pause for the cause. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by American Family Insurance. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Sharpen your investment and retirement strategy at the Annex Wealth Management Navigating the Markets presentation. What are the headwinds for portfolios in excess of $1 million? Will the long-awaited recession actually happen? And what can you do to calibrate your portfolio? Navigating the Markets takes place October 5th at the Sharon Lynn Wilson Center for the Arts in Brookfield. This premier event is open to everyone. Complete details and sign up at annexwealth.com/events. The American economy is at a critical juncture. What's next? Join us for Navigating the Markets from Annex Wealth Management.
Who makes insurance simple? That's easy. Delta Dental of Wisconsin. So if you ask, what company encourages you to use your benefits for regular preventive care? Or who provides quick service online or by phone? Which insurance offers access to the largest provider networks? Or who helps you save money when you need more than a checkup? The answer's the same. Definitely Delta Dental. For dental and vision insurance made simple, choose Delta Dental of Wisconsin and Delta Vision today.
Friday Night Lights now officially lives here. 1017 The Truth is the proud home of Marquette Hilltoppers football. Tune in this Friday night as the Hilltoppers hit the road to take on the West Allis Central Bulldogs. The football action kicks off at 7 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Marquette Hilltoppers football is presented by Gruber Law Offices and sponsored by Capital Insurance Agency, Magic Productions, Annex Wealth Management, C.G. Schmidt, Left's Lucky Town, Liberty Engineering, and Marquette University High School.
The next disaster is coming. The time to get ready is now. Make a plan. Identify meetup locations and people you'll need to contact. Put your contact list in your wallet, on your phone, and somewhere visible in your home. Build a kit. Store enough food and water for 3 days. Don't forget your pets. And consider buying a pre-made kit. Keep at least 7 days of medication on hand. Work with your pharmacist and insurance company to secure the extra doses. Make copies of important documents. Keep them on your phone, in the cloud, or on a USB stick. Stay informed. Learn about local hazards. Take courses in CPR and first aid. And sign up for local alert systems. An early warning can give you the time you need to prepare for a fast-moving disaster. Be ready. Learn more at americares.org/send-us-in.
This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
In terms of academic preparedness, ambition, intellectual capacity, drive, focus, and faith, the differences amongst black students at Milwaukee Lutheran are substantial. So this is coming from an African-American man who wrote an op-ed in the Journal Sentinel. His name is Shannon Whitworth, and he is the director of the Free Enterprise Academy at Milwaukee Lutheran. And it sounds like he hates black kids. I get it, though. Like, there's some black people that don't like us because they have been so trained and so conditioned. Like, they swallowed up all the anti-black propaganda. And it's easy. If you're not a critical thinker, you will hate black people. You will not like us. You will stereotype us. You will judge us. You will consider us less. We're not worthy. Like, that is what America does to people. That is why you get some kind of special recognition if you have black friends, or if you go and work in a black neighborhood or an underprivileged or an underserved neighborhood, you get special accolades because, man, these blacks, boy, oh boy, they're in bad shape. Did you ever think for a second how the hell we got this way? If we came to this nation as they think it's just blank slates, and if we are less than, if we are undereducated, if we are under-resourced, if we don't make as much money, if we have less education, like, why do you think that is? Is it all of a sudden it's our fault? When the very system that we came into was against us. Now, you're going to discount that system altogether. 240 years of that system, you think it has zero effect on black people to this day? Like, how dumb can some people be? And here's the other crazy thing about it. They demean the political party that at least attempts to speak to black issues. And it's getting real frustrated because you got black folks. What's the Democratic Party doing for us? Okay, we have to explain that because some folks don't really dig politics to that level. But then when I ask them about the alternative, they say, well, I'm going to try voting for a Republican. The Republicans don't even have to have an agenda for your black ass. Ask somebody who said, I'm getting rid of the Democrats. I ain't going to vote for the Democrats no more. They're going to vote for a Republican. That person knows that the Republicans are not going to do anything for them. And the Republicans don't have to, because the Republicans are playing such an incredible game on us. Because here's the thing. When they encourage black people, for whatever reasons, could be religious reasons, could be homophobia reasons, whatever the reasons are, when they tell black folks, oh, Democrats are hurting you, they're not doing nothing for you, and they look at history, they always say, oh, the Democrats are the party of the Klan. Like, when they say that to you, they think you're stupid. They really do. They think that the Democratic Party of today is the one from 1924. They literally are telling you to your face that you're stupid, and some of y'all swallow it up. Yeah, I know the Democrats is the party of the Klan. Would the party of the Klan have nominated a black man whose middle name was Hussein? First name was Barack. That ain't much better than Hussein. Last name is Obama. The Republicans are playing a game of subtraction. They're going to tell you that you're stupid for voting for the Democrats, and nobody wants to be called stupid. And so when you vote for the Republicans, or you just don't vote at all, you are increasing Republican strength. Remember, the Republicans do not have to have a political agenda. All the Republicans have to do is oppose the political party that seeks to provide some semblance of justice, that seeks to alleviate poverty, that seeks to fully fund public education, that seeks to allow women to have their own right to make choices about their bodies. They are fighting, the Republicans are fighting that. Common sense, decency, equity, equality, that's what they are fighting. And when you vote for them, you are giving them strength in hating us. They're not trying to do anything. Okay, then so what's the Republican agenda for black people? No. You better give me something. You can tell me all the things the Democrats are not doing. Fair enough. I get it. I'm right there with you. But tell me what the Republicans are doing. You got nothing, right? But the other thing that we had to contend with in our society, and this is everybody everywhere, some people are they're just naysayers. They're born to resist. Anything that happens, any change, any technological advancement, there are some people that are just going to resist it. Hey, COVID is harming a lot of people and it's making a bunch of people sick. We have a vaccine. I ain't taking a vaccine. Back when they had cars, right? People say, I'm going to keep a horse and buggy. This car thing ain't going to work out. There's always naysayers. Be wary of them. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be back for hour 2.
Do you need a way to uplift your fellow woman? Have you ever wished you could do more to serve your community, but just don't have the time? You can do this and more by helping Good Karma Brand support Women Build through Habitat for Humanity. And all you have to do to help is donate. The link to donate will be open until September 30th. Just go to MilwaukeeHabitat.org. Again, that's Women Build and MilwaukeeHabitat.org. And be sure to check out 1017 The Truth social media for a behind-the-scenes look of our team building a new home in the Harambe neighborhood.
This is 1017 The Truth, Sherwin Hughes, host of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. My show is enlightening, entertaining, educational, and informative. We talk about everything from national issues to things happening right here in our own backyard. More importantly, I discuss ways that we can come together and find solutions collectively. Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes Monday through Friday on 1017 The Truth from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Are you or anyone you know looking for a new job opportunity? Attend the City of Milwaukee Job Fair on Thursday, September 28th from noon to 4 p.m. at one of the 3 convenient locations. Location 1 on the north side at New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, located at 2433 West Roosevelt Drive. Location 2 on the south side at Basilica of St. Josephat, located at 2333 South 6th Street. And location 3 on the northwest side at Ross Innovative, located at 7800 West Brown Deer Road. Brought to you by Milwaukee Council President Jose Perez and council members Andrea Pratt and Larissa Taylor. 3 locations, 1 mission, helping you take your next step towards employment. Sponsored by Milwaukee Common Council, Direct Connect Milwaukee, Northwest Side CDC, State Department of Workforce Development, UMOS, Ross Innovative Employment Solutions, Employ Milwaukee, Milwaukee Urban League, Fathers Making Progress, Goodwill Industries of Southeast Wisconsin, Office of Violence Prevention, Maximus, Milwaukee Public Schools, and the City of Milwaukee.
Truth Nation, are you ready to become the best business leader you know you can be? Forever Media, a Black-owned leading media company, proudly presents Lead the Movement Business Conference. This premier event, hosted on September 29th, 2023 at the iconic Henry Meyer Festival Park, aims to equip attendees with the tools and knowledge to lead effectively, innovate talent acquisition, elevate their brand, and champion diversity and inclusivity. So it's time to level up. To learn more and purchase tickets, visit ltmconference.com.
Hey gamers, are you ready for a challenge? Come to
Keys Ultimate Gaming,
where the fun never ends. They've got multiple flat screens, PS5s, and Xbox systems for you to enjoy games from Fortnite to The Sims. Whether it's a date night, birthday, or a private booking, they're an arcade on wheels coming to you. Book now at keysgaming.com and let's get our game on with
Keys Ultimate Gaming, where they bring gaming to you.
We are the home of Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma Brand station. It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to hour 2 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I'm still navigating my way through this opinion piece that appeared in the Journal Sentinel. And here's the thing, I'm glad that it was written because I need to be able to showcase and highlight the different opinions that African Americans have. about one another, about society, about when we want to have our own place and our own space. We want our children to have their own orientation where they can get to know other children of color, because these kids are going to need to have their back. But the Wisconsin Institute of Law and Liberty, ultra-conservative organization, said, no, you can't have a student of color orientation. That's unconstitutional. Of course, they threatened to sue the Appleton school. You know, schools don't like to get sued. Public entities don't like to get sued because when they lose those lawsuits, it's tax dollars that they have to pay. And when they get legal representation, it's tax dollars that have to hire the lawyer. So they usually they surrender under the threat of a lawsuit. But when you have an African-American man that is against black students, black children, which he was at one point in time, when they come together, he's offended because it excludes the people that could help the black children. It's so frustrating because you got a whole bunch of white folks saying, yeah, we don't need to have any people of color or student of color or organizations of color because that's racist against us. We as white folks need to be in every single room. And see, what happens is they get paranoid when we organize because we change the world. You know, of all the things that I've discussed over the years, and there's no stone that I haven't turned over. We talked about some of everything. I've come to a single conclusion. There's this wonderful thing, and I'm just barely getting started on like this sage wisdom that you get when you get old. Like I just barely see the light at the end of the tunnel. But now I understand when our elders, when they speak, sometimes they speak softly and they use few words because the wisdom that is packed in a 4-word sentence is like 80 years in the making. Like the brilliance that comes from just having chronological years on earth is it's magic. It really is. And here's one of the conclusions that I'm starting to see in all the different stories and the articles and the sentiments we have and the political issues and the political figures that come and go. And, you know, the tides rise and then they fall again. Black people are all black people have. Kind of disappointing when you think about it. We are all we have. So these people that are living in the Milwaukee Housing Authority complexes, a lot of them are black. All they have is us. All we have is them. Now we can disagree, and we will, on approaches, how we get things done. We'll disagree on politics, but our disagreements are we have different levels of understanding. Some people understand the stuff at a 10,000 foot view. Some people understand it at the ground level, and some people understand it somewhere in the middle. Like those are our disagreements. It's just our levels of understanding. And so it is incumbent upon me and everybody who does this job, and there's not many of us that do it, is to give everybody the same facts. So we all have the same level of understanding. So we can reduce our individual disagreements as black people so we can all move together and realize this golden rule that all we have is one another. No one can see the world the way we do, even when white folks try. They can't. It's impossible. They're not built. They're not equipped. Like they take an academic approach to race at best. They can tell you the history. Like somebody like Tim Wise, who's white, Southern, and Jewish. He's a whole combination of things. But he has a very deep and profound academic understanding of race. He's never lived it. He doesn't know what it's like. The feeling that you get when you walk into a room, you're the only black person. I guess white people can get that feeling when they walk into the room and they're the only white person, but guess what they do? They don't return to that room, or they build their own room so they don't ever have to feel like that. I've witnessed it before a time or two. And some white kids is cool with it. Some white people don't like white people. You don't know that? They really don't. I'm sick of these white folks. But wait a minute, Brian. Aren't you white? Yeah, unfortunately. Fight the power. Let's talk to. Hello, Robert. How are you?
Hello, Sherwin. Man, I have a million things to say, but I'm not going to say them.
No, you're not going to say a million things. Not at all.
Oh man, I gotta say you bring up such good topics. I got so much, but here I got one point that nobody will listen to me. It's an excellent point. Just like when I brought up the cars, I didn't say lower your speed to 60 so the police can get you. I said when it comes to the police should have cars at 120, they should make cars, and the public only can go 60 or 70, and there'll be so many police. They didn't listen to me then, and they're not going to listen to me.
Hang on a second, Bob. You think that police cars should go faster than everybody else's car?
They should make them like that, and then be more police dealing with crime than sitting on the expressway, maybe going to sleep, maybe not, whatever. But I got this one point. That's all, because I got million points. Oh, man, you bring up such good topics.
So if the speed limit is 70, my car can only go 60, but the police can go 120. So we're just going to slow down traffic.
They should make cars like that, not just lower you. And then, now what we're going to do with these other cars, I don't know. I mean, maybe make them come in.
How about that's not a good idea? How about that's just, we're not going to do that. Yeah, we're not going to regulate the speed of cars because somebody might decide they want to flee from the police. How about we just don't have high-speed chases? Maybe we just begin there. We just get the person's license plate. We just catch them later. We don't speed anywhere. Okay.
Stop a lot of, I'm not going to get into you with that because I got this one point. See, it's even difficult to get to this one point, and I got a million points. Oh, I mean, I had so much.
Get to the point, man.
You won't listen to me. Nobody listen to me.
Bob. Listen to me.
Okay.
Now you listen to me. Listen to me, Jack. Make your point.
Okay, here it comes. Just like men go to war, and you were drafted at many years, because I got drafted. I didn't have to go in, but I got drafted, and then it ended the draft in about 72. Just like you got to get your license plate. You got to get driver's license to drive. You got to have background checks. They need to make it mandatory that everybody in this country votes. The Republicans wouldn't even slowly dwindle and things will go faster. Nobody listens to them. That's all they got to make it. When you get 18, you have to, then we'll keep democracy.
How are you going to enforce that?
Oh, when you can't get your driver's license unless you register. Oh, how are you going to enforce it?
Yeah.
It's more of everybody, just like you get your shots before you enter school when you get 18. Okay, if you don't vote, you don't go to jail, I don't think, but that's mandatory. You have to register to vote. But nobody will listen to me.
No, they're not going to listen to you. Because you can't make something mandatory, Bob, if there's no enforcement. So if Bob had his way and it was mandatory that people register and also vote, if they don't register and they don't vote when it's mandatory, what are we going to do to those people who are defying the mandatory order to register and to vote?
Well, that's where the politicians maybe give them a fine.
Bob, that is not, listen to me, what you're describing is not democracy, though. So I know how it's important for people to register and to vote, but if you put a penalty on someone for not, because that's you can't fine somebody for not exercising a choice. That's anti-democratic. Small d. That's not democratic.
You have to maintain democracy, and that's the way you do it, to keep out people
so
like
you maintain
Trump.
Democracy with fascism. So everybody vote, and if you don't vote, you're going to go to jail. That's not.
And Republicans, you cannot, capitalism without regulation is almost like communism. And then I'm gonna leave it there, because you saying you can't vote, but if you make nobody listens to me.
No, they're not.
If you
Bob, just think for a second why people don't listen to you. Maybe that's what we should talk about. Why do people not listen to you? I think the cars should only go 11 miles. Everybody should just have a bicycle. No, nobody need a car. The police should just push you off your bicycle.
If cars, it could go 100, 60 or 70. It'll be more policemen fighting crime, and if it was mandatory to vote, Democrats would slowly. Do you know?
No.
If good white. Okay, here we go again. See, if the decent white people when it came over and tried to make laws that we might be still in slavery, or at least we have Jim Crow. Because think about it. If these, and they say, well, we took over, we killed the Indians, we sided with these ridiculous white folks, we did, but we got to make laws and we got to do something. And slowly, I can go to Florida, I can go to Mexico, I can get a degree. Ain't nobody whipping my back. If the decent white folks wouldn't have came over here and tried, and they were wrong for killing the Indians, don't nobody listen to me. I'm just saying, you listen to me sooner. Just let life keep on hitting you. Just let life keep on hitting people. They will see a lot of things, and I will talk to you later, sir.
Bob, I want you to go lay down and get you a nap. Can you do that? Just lay down, okay? Just get you a little nap. Get you some covers and a nice pillow and get you a little rest.
I would do that, sir.
Okay.
I would do that.
All right,
You're
Bob.
doing a wonderful job, sir. You're doing a wonderful job.
All right, thank you. All right, then, Bob. Bob been doing a lot of thinking today. All that thinking make a man sleepy. Got to get a rest. Let's talk to Linda. How are you?
Good morning, good Comrade Brand, good people of Milwaukee, and certainly Professor Sherwin Hughes. You are doing it this week, man. I'm trying to tell you. And I'm just loving all of it, man, because, I learned all this like 25, 30 years ago when I was taking Africology, and I would have gotten a 4th degree, but, half my family died, and I thought I could be Superwoman and get through it, but I didn't. But I'm just so elated. That's why when I started hearing about, Truth Nation coming on and I started listening to you guys, man, I was like so elated because finally we have a voice. And then when I listen to each, broadcaster, it's like, oh, wow, this is such a blessing. Sherwin, you are a blessing.
Thanks, Linda.
To your people, to the city of Milwaukee, to the state, to this country, and to the cause.
All right, slow down.
I'm trying to tell you.
I'm just one
for
person.
Real.
There's other people doing more than me, Linda.
You're so patient. Huh?
There's people doing more than me.
No, Sherwin, I've been around a while now, but you're so patient with your callers who may not have as much knowledge or understanding that you break it down to the. I appreciate that because, a lot of people that have knowledge, they don't have the patience or the wherewithal to care about someone that don't and to transfer that knowledge. So I really thank God for you on that. It's just amazing, your talent, your gift, and this is what you love. And that's the thing that I'm observing about you. And I'm just hoping that you just continue to take this path, continue on this path, man, for real. I really love it. But I will say this, that, yes, we are all we have. We are all we have. But it's systemically trained people, to think that way. Because look at it like this, like the Native Americans, they've conditioned our thinking to put them in a certain perspective too. the Hispanics. They've conditioned our thinking to put them in a certain perspective too. So regardless of the conditioning that the Europeans have done to set the stage the way it is, because we only have each other, that's who we have to focus on. You know, even in this state, in this city. And this is my call to the good black people in Milwaukee and the good white people. Man, we got to come together for what, you know, for humanity's sake. It is not about a color. That was for an agenda. This is humanity. There is no such thing as one human above another. And this is what we got to unlearn. Man, I'm just touched by you this morning. I just wanted to call in right away because, you know, I got to watch my girls on The View.
You're turning off this program to watch The View?
You know, actually, I have played both. I listen to you and I watch them and listen to them. I have them on mute, and then when the subject comes up, I unmute them. But yeah, I'm a lover of knowledge. I'm always trying to learn and grow and do better, be better, know more. You know, we should never stay where we at and be comfortable. We should always aspire to be better than we were last year, last month, last week.
Linda, you ain't gonna believe this, but on one of my monitors here in the studio, The View is actually playing right now. It's on one of my TVs. Is Janet Jackson a part of The View?
No.
That woman is Janet Jackson.
That's not Janet Jackson.
Yes, it is. Who is this woman right here? This is Madonna? Who this white lady is?
What View you watching?
It's on ABC, right? Channel 12, The View.
Watching. Yeah, well, I'm watching, what's her name?
Madonna.
She's on. That's not Madonna. That's Whoopi. That's, what's her name? Kisani. And
that is Janet Jackson. That's not Janet.
No.
You gonna tell me she don't look just like Janet? Oh my God, I look like Janet Jackson. She got a Jackson nose.
But they're talking about Trump and his fraud and Letitia James. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I heard. Yeah, we ain't gonna talk about that. Trump is gonna peel that. Okay, I gotta go, Linda. I gotta go. I got another call coming in. I gotta take a commercial break. Thank you for your call.
Love you. Bye-bye.
All right then, Linda. Okay then, Linda. See, Linda just wants me to help her charter a school. That's why she says all that stuff. She wants something else too. All right, let's take a break. I got so much stuff to talk about. I got to read your text messages too. Oh, JD said Bob and Linda have the same weed man. I believe it. Yeah, that makes sense. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is 1017 The Truth's Melanie Ricks, and the time is now, Milwaukee. I believe that our listeners deserve the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and that's exactly what we're going to bring to you every day from 12 to 1 p.m. We're going to be talking about life, love, relationships, sports, pop culture, and all things Milwaukee. Listen to Nothing But the Truth with me, Melanie Ricks, every day from noon to 1 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hardworking family businesses, ambitious entrepreneurs, relationship builders, and job creators. Businesses like yours are the heart of Wisconsin, and the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation lives to help you realize your vision. Join us for Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development. It will be held December 6th and 7th at Baird Convention Center in downtown Milwaukee and virtually on December 5th. Presented by WEDC, Marketplace Wisconsin is a chance for minority, women, LGBTQ+, veteran-owned, and small businesses to network, explore government contracting, and grow. Keep our state moving with construction, janitorial services, logistics and transportation, technology, medical services, and more. And Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation wants to help propel your success. So join them for Marketplace Wisconsin, the Governor's Conference on Diverse Business Development, December 6th and 7th. Register for Marketplace Wisconsin today at marketplacewisconsin.com. Let's move forward together.
Looking to buy your first house, expand it to a forever home, or simply want to refinance? At Associated Bank, we've got you. We believe that with the right lending plan and guidance, everyone can achieve their dreams. And Associated Bank is here to get you there. Because believe it or not, your financial goals are within reach. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Life's better with an auto policy from American Family Insurance. No matter what dreams you're driving towards. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto coverage at the right price. You'll also save up to 23% when you bundle auto with home. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome back. All right, let's as I'm reading more of this op-ed written by a man named Shannon Whitworth, who is the director of the Free Enterprise Academy at Milwaukee Lutheran High School. Y'all might want to think about pulling your kids, your black kids, the white kids can stay out of Milwaukee Lutheran High School because they are being poisoned by an African American man. See, we want black men to be role models. There's not enough of us that aren't athletes and rappers that are just real good, solid role models. You know what it was back in the day? It was a black man going to work every day. Every day. Best role model you could have, going to work every day. It was cold outside. It's snowing. It's raining. Going to work every day. We don't really have as much of that, but the need for good examples, consistency, like consistent examples is important. I hope Carrie can join me on Friday because I heard a song. It's a rap song for the young people. I don't want to age myself by saying that the music nowadays is terrible because when you get old, you say, "Oh, back in my day." But when it comes to hip hop, nobody argues with that. And I say that because there are hip hop songs, classic hip hop songs from the 80s, from the 90s, that still hit to this day. Some of the stuff that's out right now is going to be old and useless in 6 months. There's very few songs coming out right now from top artists that are going to stand the test of time. They're not making classics. They're just making like temporary music, like the craftsmanship in some of the music nowadays is not the same. It's like prefabricated music. Like prefab houses, they look nice, but they fall apart. Not like the houses that were built with major craftsmanship. It's not durable, the music. The dirtiest song I've ever heard, and I'm not opposed to dirty music. That's okay. Dirty music is fine. With little cuss words in it. It's the dirtiest song I ever heard. I listened to it on the satellite radio. I was on my treadmill. Because they say I don't listen to enough new music. So now when I work out, I listen to the top 10.5 countdown on Sirius XM so I can see what the new music is. You understand? And when I say this is the most filthy song I've ever heard in my entire life, oh, we're doomed. I was going to read the lyrics. I can't. Even if I beeped out or use different words, it's disgusting. And it takes a lot to disgust me. It does. The song is called Peaches and Eggplants. It's vile. And then it made me realize something. Just like a broad prognostication about hip hop music, where it is right now, and what gets airplay, what gets distributed, what gets streamed, what gets downloaded, and what gets attention, okay? Because there's still money in the distribution of music. Quite a lot of it, actually, can be made. Corporate America can give pretty significant, these record companies can give pretty significant financial incentives to artists. Now, the deals vary, but these artists can make money, and they can make money with merchandising. Sometimes their management can help them get shoe deals and liquor deals and clothing lines, because they don't make as much money selling like CDs and selling music and selling downloads, because most music is available for free. But artists that become very popular can make their money in 1,000,001 different ways. Sometimes they start acting. Look at Ice Cube, right? They do a whole bunch of different things. But when you think about it, if there is an incentive, if you make a certain type of music that is detrimental, I mean, like harming to the psyche of a young, impressionable people that don't have a lot of role models and examples. See, this is the thing that we had in our youth. We had an antithesis to the music we were listening to. I looked at my parents, I was like, hey, my parents are different than what NWA is saying. Like, I saw the dichotomy, and you can choose one, right? I can follow the path of my parents or follow the path of the music, but at least I had that choice. And now you got the parents and the kids listening to the same music now. But this song, Peaches and Eggplants, it makes it abundantly clear. And for a period of time, it seemed like record labels and the music that was being distributed was coming after black men. We're gangsters, we're thugs, we're dangerous. And then I think society really followed suit, because we portrayed ourselves as that via our art and our music. And remember, they don't know anything about us. They don't know our history. They don't know who we are. So when they hear the music and they see us acting some of this stuff out in real life, then that's just what they assume that black people are. Therefore, you get a 1994 crime bill, we all go to prison, right? So art does imitate life. But now they're coming for the black girls. If little black girls are listening to songs like Peaches and Eggplants, they're doomed. And what corporate America does is they get to control the narrative of what black culture is. You understand that? So if you make the worst music, the most vile music, the most detrimental music, and that music gets the distribution, and then the record companies or record labels can incentivize and pay those artists to keep making more of that dangerous, detrimental music, then therefore corporate America is controlling the perception of black America, and they're doing it with money. They're going to say, yeah, don't make any conscious hip-hop music. Don't make any hip-hop music that is uplifting, that encourages people to come together. Talk about the worst stuff you possibly can, and we'll give you another $90 million. And some artists will say, yeah, that's cool. Whatever you need me to say, I'll say it. Let's talk to Russ. Russ, you're on 101.7 The Truth. How are you?
I'm just fine. I want to start off with saying that, what's her name, Linda, she's absolutely right. What she said about, listening to you. I just want to say something really fast. First of all, when you mentioned about the, what is that? When the one guy mentioned about the police cars, going a certain amount of miles an hour, and but I had a different solution to that.
Okay.
I was thinking, if you could fight a war with drones, how come you can't fight crime with drones? I mean, you could have drones chasing a car instead of a police car. Try to get away from a drone. I didn't have something where if
they have those. The drones are in operation certainly in New York. They've got hundreds of them, but it's extremely expensive technology. Well, no, drones are in operation. They're just not in every city. Facial recognition is everywhere too. Absolutely. People can be recognized. In fact, I got a story where they're using artificial intelligence to recognize people, and they're actually arresting the wrong people because artificial intelligence can't distinguish black faces. So no, they're using drones are in use.
I heard the same thing in China. What they were making a mistake in China where they couldn't distinguish, or the face recognition wasn't always good in China either. And
depends on who's designing the technology, but that's correct. It's still new.
Yeah, and the other thing was you mentioned when I listen to you and I compare you to what's the other, Tory Lowe and Dr. Harris, whatever it is. Some of the things they say I can't really, I try to follow them a little bit, but I end up turning it off.
Well, that's not nice, Russ. You gotta listen to them.
Okay, I was listening to Tory Lowe one time, and he said if it came down to Biden and Trump, he'd go with Trump, and I said, okay, I'm done. Then Dr. Ken Harris, he says, okay, I get it in some respects, but in some respects, I don't think there's a lot of real critical thinking in the other two guys there. I mean, it's like I don't know if they have an agenda or somebody's being paid, or I don't know. That's not good to say. I don't know that.
I believe that those two gentlemen, my friends and my colleagues, have their own perspectives on life, and they are sharing their perspectives from their point of view via their shows that they have, and that don't look into it much more than that. That's all it is, Russ.
I expect you to say that, and that's what because you guys are all in the same genre there. I understand that, and but your explanation of things seems to be a little more. There's a little more critical thinking involved, and sometimes these guys, they talk like they're critical thinkers, but in some cases they could be damaging.
Well, Russ, they also have different audiences, and it probably would make more sense that someone like you is more in line with my audience, and you are not in line with, say, Dr. Ken's audience and Tory Lowe's audience. Because Tory Lowe's audience and Dr. Ken's audience, those are very different people, too. So we just have different audiences based on our perspectives. But, Russ, I gotta go now.
I expect you to say that.
Well, then, hell, why'd you call if you expect me to say everything I said, man?
No. I know you have to say that. But
no, I don't have to say anything. I gave you, you listen to my show because you like how I deliver information. Well, I just delivered information to you about them like I deliver all sorts of information to people. They're different people, different perspectives, and they're sharing their perspectives from their point of view with an audience that likes their content. Everybody ain't going to like everything, Russ.
I hear you. But before I started listening to you, I've been listening to you for a long time since NOV, but I was an Eric Bond fan. That's all I listened to. Eric Bond most, and I liked him more than the other comedians. They were good. They were okay.
Okay.
But Eric Bond was like more along the lines with you. But that being said, I don't want to hold you up.
All right. Thank you, Russ.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, Russ. Huh. Interesting. All right. I promise I won't tell Tory or Dr. Ken that Russ critiqued them so harshly. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
And what are some of the ways that you're inspiring people? Because, one of the biggest opportunities, in particular in the African-American community, is access, exposure, and awareness.
For Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin, we've been here 76 years.
Wow.
And our mantra is saving the lives you love. So if someone you love needs a blood transfusion and they're in any hospital in Southeast Wisconsin here, that blood's coming from us. And so we're trying to make sure that we're communicating that, because I think folks maybe don't understand that blood can't be manufactured. And summers are always tough because schools are out and we collect about 20 to 25% of our blood from schools. Mm-hmm. So it's always a day-to-day struggle. We say that the blood that's on the shelves is the blood that saves lives. And a lot of times people are compelled to donate when something bad happens. And our mission and our job is to educate folks so that we can get ahead of the curve and keep 3 days of inventory on the shelves. So we're in a decent spot right now, but we're on the streets every day trying to inspire people to join our mission. One of our big projects that we're proud of is Versity on King, which is part of the Thrive on collaboration in the Gimbel Schuster building on Martin Luther King Drive. And next year, we're going to open a destination center there. It'll be a blood donation center, but it'll be more than that because we've realized that we can't be transactional with our relationships in the Black community. We need to do things that are intentional and that show that we're there to stay. But the reason that we're there is because not enough people that look like us donate. And so for disorders like sickle cell disease that disproportionately affect us, the race can matter. But I like to say that, Black folks have a superpower in their blood. 44% of Black blood donors will have this rare trait that makes their blood more likely to be able to be a match for a sickle cell patient. And that 44% that is way higher than what we would find in other races.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
Hey, Rhea, what are you doing?
Well, I'm online looking to buy a home, but I have no idea where to begin, and I need help.
Have you contacted Excel Property and Contracting? They're locally located on 57th and North Avenue, and they're not just contractors, but real estate professionals who can help you through the home buying process. They can even help you search for and properly evaluate the perfect home for you.
Wow, having a realtor that's a contractor would be great.
Right? Contact Al Cole at 877-277-6817 or visit their website at excelprop.com.
Hey Brewers fans, our favorite season is here, October baseball. Now's the time to put your wallet in winning mode with Wintrust Community Bank's most popular checking account. Open a Total Access checking account today and score yourself a $300 bonus with qualifying activities. Think about all the extra brats that you'll get. Experience the playoffs and banking as it should be. Visit wintrust.com/Brewers October. Wintrust, Wisconsin's bank. Different approach, better results. Proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Only $100 required to open. No minimum monthly balance or monthly maintenance fees. Member FDIC.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Call Al Cole at Excel Property and Contracting. They're located right on 57th and North Avenue. Contact them for free estimates. In fact, they're doing storm damage inspections in the Milwaukee area. They actually can come on out and check your residence or your rental property to check for damage or maintenance issues that may cause you problems in the future. And a lot of times that maintenance stuff is covered by your insurance. Excel also provides remodeling services, property management, and cleaning services. Call Al Cole at 877-277-6817, 877-277-6817, or visit their website at excelprop.com. All right, I got a whole bunch of text messages. I'm going to go back to the beginning. It's a lot. All right, let's see here. Who is this? Is that today? 414530 says, "Good morning, sir. Have you seen that commercial on TV with the black male and his daughter talking about CRT? This stuff isn't taught in grade school. What's going on?" You're a little late to the party, 414530. That commercial been running for like 3 weeks. Now they're increasing the frequency. So somebody is funding this to the tune of, like, now it's got to be tens of millions of dollars. You're going to start seeing more of this in the year 2024. Like, the way they're going to do political commercials is going to frighten you. They're going to find as many African Americans as they possibly can that will say negative things and detrimental things about specific things in black culture. Because critical race theory has got a negative connotation when people hear it. White people that aren't critical thinkers will be like, oh, they're trying to make kids hate white people. No, you can't teach that. Don't teach the kids. The kids are innocent. The kids all love each other. Kids all play together. No, they don't. Kids are brutal. Kids are ruthless. Kids cause other kids to commit suicide. They're going to find as many black people as they possibly can to take, like, things that we've struggled to achieve and discredit them. White people love black folks that think the way they do. David Clark, best example I can give you. David Clark said things about black people, about black single mothers, and about the black community that white people love. Now, I know why he did it. He doesn't even necessarily believe all that stuff. David Clark played the game politically. Now, he hurt black folks in the process, but he just told white suburban voters that are sometimes leery of voting for an African-American man. But if there is, how do I explain this? If Caucasian people are going to be okay giving their vote to an African-American man, they would prefer he be in law enforcement because I think they ultimately see crime issue as a black problem. So vote for the black to incarcerate the blacks. And so David Clark played on that, right? Law enforcement guy, 27-year Milwaukee police officer. I don't know how many years with the sheriff's department. And he was very conservative, too conservative, Trump-like conservative. In fact, David Clark thought he was going to be the Secretary of Homeland Security. Didn't quite work out for him. But if you tell white suburban racists who live where they live because either they or their parents moved out of the city because the city was becoming much more diverse because Milwaukee used to offer a plethora of jobs, assembly lines, manufacturing plants, breweries, etc. And as we started coming, the Caucasian folks, because of racism, they moved further and further and further away. Then they had housing covenants to make sure that we couldn't buy nor build in the same enclaves in which they were living because they wanted to have their schools be totally white. They wanted to fully fund everything and not have any of those resources or any of those tax dollars go to improve the lives of black people. You ain't even got an argument with me on that one. Go and look up housing covenants in Milwaukee County, some of the worst housing covenants in the country. In the country. And so when there's an African-American man in law enforcement that speaks their language of also hating black people and black culture based on ignorance, they eat it up. They're like, oh, this is what we've been waiting for, a black person that thinks the way we do. That's how you get invited to their barbecue. Think about what you got to do to get invited to our barbecue. You got to be real woke. You got to be super woke. You know, when we bestow that compliment, we're mostly kidding when we say that because you're not coming to the barbecue. But it's a nice thing that we say to you, like, oh, wow, I like your perspective. You understand. You're a critical thinker. You understand, how they have been intentionally degrading and demeaning black people so that we don't get a fair shake, so the police can kill us. Oh, you get it, white person. You're one of us, kind of. You can come to the barbecue. And for some white folks to be accepted into black culture, that's a real big deal for them. It's like we give them a participation trophy for just knowing a little bit of history. But to get invited to their barbecue, you gotta prove that you hate us. I would have you guys do an experiment, but I already know what the results are going to be, and they're going to break my heart. Let's go up to a group of white guys. You got to be black to do this. A bunch of white guys wearing camouflage hats and blaze orange, like as their fashion wear. Like they're not hunting. That's just what they wore to work today. And just walk up to them, right? And they'll look at you real funny. You'll walk up to them, they'll look at you like, You know what you say to them? You know what, Gus, Ralph, Bruce, I don't know why these blacks keep killing each other. This black on black crime is ridiculous. I'll be like, yeah, it is. And then you keep going. You say, these black women having all these kids out of wedlock and getting all this welfare. They'll be like, yeah, that's right. I think we just need to build more jails and just lock them up is what I think. Yeah, we do. Hey, you know what? Would you like to come over to our barbecue? They'll invite you. It's sad. And it seems like the guy that wrote this op-ed in the Journal Sentinel, not only is he invited to their barbecue, they probably have him cooking the food. Hey, thanks for coming. What his name is? Hold on. What his name? His name is Shannon Whitworth. Hey, Shannon, thanks for coming to our barbecue. Now get over there on the grill, boy. Get over there. I hear you make good ribs. France says, well, my child attends Milwaukee Lutheran, and this teacher, or whatever he is 100% wrong. I can't wait to talk to him in person on Monday. And I am black. So interesting to hear his thoughts on black children. Grant says, Professor Hughes, each time I watch that commercial, the critical race theory commercial, I wonder how much they paid that idiot. I'm thinking it was a good $500 to $600, both for him and his kid. He probably didn't get paid for that. That was unscripted. They found somebody that feels that way. I mean, maybe they gave him something. I don't know, like a 24-pack of Coke. That's some, I don't know, black people like orange soda. Maybe they gave him some orange soda or something. But I don't think he got paid for that. If you look at it, it's like it was shot with a cell phone. He might have just posted it on social media. That was not, I can tell the difference between a script and when somebody is paid to do something. Dude is not a paid actor because he wouldn't look like that. And if it was a scripted commercial, the child would have had a different role, right? The child would have had different lines. That was off the cuff. The child, you can have friends. I ain't never want to punch a child as bad in my life. You're not supposed to do that, right? What, Rhea? When I talk about disciplining kids, people are okay with discipline. The girl already ain't got no teeth. What? Why are you looking at me like I'm saying something wrong? I'm not going to punch the girl. Come on, I know better than that, but I could think about it. Like, why is this little child, they indoctrinated this little child to hate little brown people. And that's a little brown child. Right? Okay, I should probably take a break now. Okay. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by American Family Insurance. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Are you or anyone you know looking for a new job opportunity? Attend the City of Milwaukee Job Fair on Thursday, September 28th from noon to 4 p.m. at one of the 3 convenient locations. Location 1 on the north side at New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, located at 2433 West Roosevelt Drive. Location 2 on the south side at Basilica of St. Josephat, located at 2333 South 6th Street. In location 3 on the northwest side at Ross Innovative, located at 7800 West Brown Deer Road. Brought to you by Milwaukee Council President Jose Perez and council members Andrea Pratt and Larissa Taylor. 3 locations, 1 mission, helping you take your next step towards employment. Sponsored by Milwaukee Common Council, Direct Connect Milwaukee, Northwest Side CDC, State Department of Workforce Development, UMOS, Ross Innovative Employment Solutions, Employ Milwaukee, Milwaukee Urban League, Fathers Making Progress, Goodwill Industries of Southeast Wisconsin, Office of Violence Prevention, Maximus, Milwaukee Public Schools, and the City of Milwaukee.
Looking to buy your first house, expand it to a forever home, or simply want to refinance? At Associated Bank, we've got you. We believe that with the right lending plan and guidance, everyone can achieve their dreams. And Associated Bank is here to get you there. Because believe it or not, your financial goals are within reach. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Bucks basketball is back. A new era tips off with Coach Griffin at the helm and your favorite core back on the court. Don't miss a moment of the action, from the slam dunks to the electrifying victories and the roar of 18,000 fans, all unfolding live at Fiserv Forum. Secure your seats now to be a part of every incredible moment. Visit bucks.com/tickets and join us for an unforgettable season of Bucks basketball. There's a seat waiting for you at Fiserv Forum. Secure yours now at bucks.com/tickets.
As daylight hours decrease, crashes involving people driving and people biking or walking increase. Turn your lights on, slow down, and look around to help reduce nighttime crashes. Let's make sure everyone, no matter how they travel, gets home safe. Learn more at wisconsinbikefed.org.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious accident? It's free. Yes, free, as in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. There's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
on a jet plane. Told me she won't be back again. And Talala is her name.
Love this song. At 11 o'clock, I'm going to be talking to Brian Bautista. He's from Versity, the Executive Vice President, Chief Operating Officer, building a blood center in the community. Y'all give that blood and help somebody with your blood. Unless you're a Jehovah. We found out that last week, Lisa called in and said that Jehovah's, well, they don't get blood, so I guess they can't give it either. I'm glad we had that conversation with her, but I kind of wish I never heard it. Did y'all hear that with Lisa last week, where some Jehovah's knocked on her door and she made the mistake of letting them in because she was going to challenge them on their understanding of the Bible, and they ended up converting her? Talk about something going wrong. That's not how that's supposed to go. What's this here? Terry says, he sounds like your old teacher, James Harris. Good God. Did y'all know that James T. Harris, the black conservative talk show host, was on WISN for years, was my world history teacher, and hated my guts? I had him my junior year. So James Harris, if you don't know, many, many years ago when John McCain was the Republican nominee running against Barack Obama, there was a rally in Waukesha. James Harris, who's a well-known conservative talk radio host and just well-known black conservative, stood up at that rally and begged John McCain to take it to Obama. Let him have it. Diminish him. That's the kind of conservative that James Harris was. He was my high school history teacher. And he didn't like me, right? Because I think he saw some of my proclivities even as a 16 or a 17-year-old. And so he didn't fail me in a history class. He gave me an incomplete, which is a cop-out. Like, he made the determination at the end of the semester that I didn't complete enough of my work, and so dude was going to make me take the class over again. He tried to impact my graduation. And I always had a chip on my shoulder. Like, I couldn't stand dude. He was so disrespectful to black students, but let the white kids get away with anything. This is James Harris, the same James Harris. Who is this, Terry? Yeah. Same one that Terry brought up. He went to Arizona. He became host of a talk radio show in Arizona, conservative talk radio show. I think he's still out there, I'm assuming. And so I always had an issue with him because he gave me incomplete, and I had to take a class over my senior year. It was fine. Passed the class, and luckily I graduated. Y'all know that story, too. I almost didn't, but I did. And so years later, I remember I had a chip on my shoulder. And also, you got to keep this in mind. So when I graduated from high school, my girlfriend was still in high school. She was younger than me. Do you know that he used to tell, after I graduated, he used to tell my girlfriend to break up with me? How messed up is that, right? This is a grown man telling my girlfriend to break up with me. So I saw him years later at a high-level covert meeting at the Greater Milwaukee Committee. This is years ago. And I was there representing Congressman at the time, Tom Baer. So here I am representing a member of Congress, and a few other folks were there, notable business people were there. And I'm sitting right across the table from James T. Harris. This is the first time that I saw him since I graduated from high school. And I could have said a whole bunch of stuff about him. I could have told him how disrespectful he was. I could have brought up the fact he was telling my high school girlfriend to break up with me. And I said to him, I looked at him and I said, I did reference the incomplete he gave me. But I said, it's funny how it works, isn't it, James? And I called him James. He wasn't Mr. Harris no more. If you were in the same room with me, you James now, Jimmy. I said, it's funny how now the teacher becomes the student. And I sat down. He just looked at me crazy. My high school teacher, now he and I are in the same room. And I actually occupied a much more significant, because I don't even think he was on the radio yet. He maybe was still teaching or he was doing some other stuff. But the other issue that I had with him is, so my freshman football coach, Steve Nemechek, was married to a teacher at Brown Deer High School, right? So Steve was coach and the study hall monitor, Steve Nemechek, and also the freshman football coach. Well, he was married to a teacher, to a math teacher. James Harris was having an affair with that math teacher. And my football coach, who I love dearly, great mentor, great man, Steve Nemechek, committed suicide. And for that, I'll never forgive James Harris. Ever. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM. I'll be back for hour 3.
Do you need a way to uplift your fellow woman? Have you ever wished you could do more to serve your community, but just don't have the time? You can do this and more by helping Good Karma Brands support Women Build through Habitat for Humanity. And all you have to do to help is donate. The link to donate will be open until September 30th. Just go to MilwaukeeHabitat.org. Again, that's Women Build and MilwaukeeHabitat.org. And be sure to check out 101.7 The Truth social media for a behind-the-scenes look of our team building a new home in the Harambe neighborhood.
This is 101.7 The Truth's Tori Lowe, and the time is now, Milwaukee. I believe the people who listen to the Tori Lowe Show are ready for real change in the community and love to bring all the smoke. Tap in, Truth Nation, to the Tori Lowe Show every day from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the new 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. The movement continues. Milwaukee Black Talk.
It's time to get ready for the best night of the year, the Greater Milwaukee Urban League's Black and White Ball on November 4th. Get your tickets and secure your sponsorships now. The Black and White Ball sells out each year, and you don't want to miss the opportunity to celebrate and support the work of Greater Milwaukee Urban League. This year's special entertainer is the legendary Grammy-winning R&B and jazz artist Patrice Rushen. Get your tickets now for the best night of the year at the Greater Milwaukee Urban League's Black and White Ball by visiting tmul.org. That's tmul.org.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Ready to ride?
Just let me get my flip-flops on.
Whoa, Mom and Dad are going for a ride without their protective gear.
Quick, grab the checklist. I'll grab the gear.
Just where do you two think you're going without your safety gear?
Yeah, you know how we feel about riding without your gear.
Well, it's so nice out.
And we're only going for a short ride.
Not before you put all this gear on, you're not.
But...
Riding pants?
Okay. Check.
Motorcycle boots?
Bye-bye, flip-flops.
Check.
Armored jackets?
Nice.
Check.
Riding gloves?
2 pairs.
Check.
Last but not least, full face helmets.
Check.
Now you're ready to ride.
And you look cool.
All the gear, all the time. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov.
Be home on time for dinner.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Truth Nation, stand up and tap in. This is 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Welcome to Hour 3 of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. On the line, I have Mr. Brian Bautista, Versity Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer. Brian, how are you?
Sherwin, thanks so much for having me. I am doing fabulous today. Excited to spend some time with you and your listeners.
Well, we appreciate that, Brian. Can you give us a little background on Versity for those folks who may not be familiar?
Yeah, Versity is a great organization based here in Milwaukee. We're right here on the Marquette campus on 18th in Wisconsin. folks may have known us from all the work we've been doing for over 75 years as it relates to blood. We are the blood center that is associated with providing all of the blood products for all of the hospitals in southeast Wisconsin. And many are familiar with Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin, with also our Blood Research Institute in Wauwatosa. It's a world-renowned research institute focused on blood disorders, bleeding disorders, et cetera. And so we serve, the local community with a global reach, with our focus on blood health innovation. And I'm especially excited because of a specific project we've got going on the north side of Milwaukee that's going to be focused on, again, serving not just our local communities, but the communities that are most underserved as it relates to health and social services.
Brian, can you just stress the importance of giving blood? Because if someone has an issue, or if they get into an accident or whatever reason where they may need blood, we expect it to be there. We expect the hospital to have it and have our type and have a literally an unlimited supply. But if people don't donate, then that may not be the case.
Sherwin, you articulated that perfectly. I'll add to kind of what you described as what we, quote unquote, expect to be there available for us. Blood, unlike other therapies, and it's kind of maybe interesting or unusual to think of blood as a therapy, but that's what it is. But unlike a lot of other therapies that a physician or other healthcare provider reaches for to treat their patients, blood has no substitute. It can only come from one place, and that's from people like you and me. And many folks associate blood with, some of these traumas and accidents, maybe even traumas and gunshot wounds and violent crimes. But most of our blood, while that it goes to that, the blood products are going to cancer patients, sickle cell patients. A lot of folks have these chronic therapies that require blood transfusions, and it's again the only therapy out there that is something that requires volunteer donors to come in and donate to sometimes, many times, complete strangers. So God forbid anything happen to you or me, Sherwin, yes, we would hope that there is blood on the shelves, but there's a donor without a face to you and me on the other side of that for that to happen.
I am speaking with Brian Bautista. He is the Executive Vice President and CEO of Versity. Brian, there's a big project, like the first of its kind type of project that you guys are involved in on King Drive. Can you tell folks about Versity on King?
Yeah, I think a lot of folks have heard a lot of the campus at the old Gimbels building there on the corner of King and Garfield, called the Thrive on King campus. We are the healthcare partner. Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin will have 3,500 square feet on the first floor. We'll be a first floor tenant right there on the Thrive on campus. And not only is it going to be a blood donation center where folks can come in to donate blood to address what we just described, serving patients in our hospitals locally, but we also plan to do a lot of other things that are going to serve the community. As you stated, this is going to be the first of its kind, where not only is this going to be a blood donation center, but it's going to be a community resource center. So the first thing that we're going to focus on is hiring. We want to hire and train and reach for the talent that's sitting there in those local neighborhoods, those Harambe, Halyard Park communities. And we're going to do all of our training at this facility. Second is we're going to educate. We know before we can even afford or earn the trust in these neighborhoods, as a healthcare institution, we need to be sure we're providing the why behind everything we're doing, whether it's why folks need to donate blood, where the blood is going. We're going to do education around sickle cell awareness, and health, just general health literacy. And the third piece, which we've already begun even before our doors have opened, is that we at Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin now offer a service through a community health navigator. And this person by the name of Jackie Day, who we just hired here at Versity, is available to the community for anyone that needs help navigating to get health or social services. So those three pillars between the hiring and training, education, and then basic health and social services are all on top of the blood donation center that's going to be right there on the Thrive On campus.
The Versity Blood Center on King it's a collaboration, and you are working with other community partners to bring this to fruition. Can you tell us about how bringing these partners together will better deploy resources to the community?
Yeah, but, we've had a presence throughout all of Milwaukee, but we haven't had a fixed donation site. And quite frankly, no blood center across the country has really had a fixed donation site right there in a community of color, the way that we are investing. We also know in order to do that, we've got to establish trust and let folks understand exactly who Versity is and why we're there. But we also have to listen. And part of our listening that we've uncovered over the last couple of years is to be sure that we are partnering with the anchor organizations, the folks that are in these organizations that are trusted, who might already know about Versity. Those are some of these organizations that we want to partner with. And that Thrive On campus is a collaboration between Royal Capital, Greater Milwaukee Foundation, and then MCW, Medical College of Wisconsin. All three are organizations that we've had relationships with, and we were honored to be chosen to be the healthcare partner for this campus. But, we are also already engaging with other organizations and also a future tenant organization, JobsWorks Milwaukee. JobsWorks Milwaukee is an organization that prepares folks for employment, and it's a place that we've already partnered with to hire folks into Versity by partnering with that organization.
I'm speaking with Brian Bautista. He is the Executive Vice President and CEO of Versity. Brian, I want you to really stress the importance of a ethnically diverse blood supply, but also that same ethnically diverse group, those groups are apprehensive sometimes when it comes to giving blood. So we got to do two things here. We got to stress the importance of having an ethnically diverse blood supply. But I guess, what do you say to people that, for whatever reason, are apprehensive about giving blood?
Yeah, it's a great point, Sherwin. It's not by accident that we are building this fixed donation site, this donor center, right in the heart of this Halyard Park, Harambe neighborhood. This Thrive On campus allows us, the awareness and education opportunities to have a platform with communities of color. And to your point, our Black and brown donors probably represents the smallest demographic in our donor base, and that's attributed to multiple reasons. I think for those of us that understand the history, there is a lot of underlying mistrust of the healthcare system, and so that adds to the apprehension of folks to want to donate blood. And quite frankly, regardless of ethnicity, there's already challenges with how busy people are, how accessible they are to even know where to go to donate blood. And let's face it, a lot of folks are scared of needles, right? But when they get through all of that, the importance, I think, is a heavier burden on our Black and brown communities, because there are a lot of different blood diseases that require what I'll call more of a match in blood that only comes from people of similar ethnicities. Something that's specific to our Black donors and patients is something that I think your listeners are very familiar with: sickle cell disease. Well, most folks don't quite understand if they don't live with sickle cell disease or don't have a family member with sickle cell disease, that really the only therapy that get them through their day-to-day life is blood transfusions. And it's not just a what I'll call average or normal blood type or blood transfusion. It's actually a specific blood with a specific type called RO blood. And this RO blood typically only comes from people of African descent and Hispanic descent. And so that's why it's so important that our donor base is diverse, so that it helps our ethnically diverse patient population as well. And that's, again, why it's no accident we chose our investment in our next donor site to be right there on King Drive.
Brian, if people want more information about the Versity on King project, or even to seek employment opportunities, where should they go?
Versity.org. Our website is versity.org. It's probably the best place to go. It'll have information about everything that we've discussed today. And I think we take a lot of pride in our responsibility very seriously in being able to serve the underserved. And so thanks so much for having me today, Sherwin, and I really do appreciate all of the love that your organization has shared for us, because I think we're so mission aligned to be able to serve the same community.
I'd like to thank you as well, Brian, and thank all the folks over at Versity. You are the Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer of Versity. I appreciate the conversation, and we'll talk very soon.
Thanks again, Sherwin. Take care.
All right, you too. All right, y'all go give some blood. So we got Lisa. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back and talk to Lisa. Lisa is our resident Jehovah that doesn't give or get blood. So this will be an interesting follow-up conversation to our chat with Brian. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Thank you, Truth Nation. Your willingness to share your stories with our community has helped make the Tori Lowe Show a 2-time First Place Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Award winner.
Hey, I'm tapping in from the Milwaukee County Jail. Yeah, man, they treating us real bad up in here, man. I mean, they had us sleeping in feces and urine. They took the batteries from us, told us there wasn't no batteries in stock. I ain't never heard that in my life.
We do this all for you, Milwaukee. We are the award-winning 1017 The Truth, Milwaukee Black Talk.
Are you or anyone you know looking for a new job opportunity? Attend the City of Milwaukee Job Fair on Thursday, September 28th from noon to 4 p.m. at one of the 3 convenient locations. Location 1 on the north side at New Hope Missionary Baptist Church, located at 2433 West Roosevelt Drive. Location 2 on the south side at Basilica of St. Josephat, located at 2333 South 6th Street. In location 3 on the northwest side at Ross Innovative, located at 7800 West Brown Deer Road. Brought to you by Milwaukee Council President Jose Perez and council members Andrea Pratt and Larissa Taylor. 3 locations, 1 mission, helping you take your next step towards employment. Sponsored by Milwaukee Common Council, Direct Connect Milwaukee, Northwest Side CDC, State Department of Workforce Development, UMOS, Ross Innovative Employment Solutions, Employ Milwaukee, Milwaukee Urban League, Fathers Making Progress, Goodwill Industries of Southeast Wisconsin, Office of Violence Prevention, Maximus, Milwaukee Public Schools, and the City of Milwaukee.
Looking to buy your first house, expand it to a forever home, or simply want to refinance? At Associated Bank, we've got you. We believe that with the right lending plan and guidance, everyone can achieve their dreams. And Associated Bank is here to get you there. Because believe it or not, your financial goals are within reach. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance, because you'll feel protected no matter how the wind blows. All so you can keep enjoying the home of your dreams. And our expert agents can help you save up to 23% when you bundle home with auto. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. American Family Insurance. Get a quote? Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee Black Talk.
You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Let's talk to a patiently waiting Lisa. Hi, Lisa. How are you?
How you doing, Sharon? How are you?
I'm doing okay. What's on your mind today, Lisa?
Okay, I know you're going to beat me up. I just heard
No,
with
I'm
the
not.
blood.
I'm not going to beat you
guy,
up.
Yeah, you know, I know what the young lady had said after I called, that we were brainwashed or we were whatever. No, we're not brainwashed. Jehovah's Witnesses are not brainwashed. We just stick directly with what the scripture says. And I could give you those scriptures in regards to blood if Christians really want the scriptures.
No. That's okay. That's all right.
Yeah,
We don't
but
need
see,
those.
that's why you argue with me when I can give you the truth. And we don't argue, we can give you the Bible. We're not arguing with it. We're just the middleman. And that's what people got to understand about Jehovah's Witnesses. We just come directly from the scripture. You got to realize I was a Baptist for 33 years. I grew up in the Baptist church. Yeah, I grew up in the Baptist church, 33 years. Pastor going to scripture, he started with scripture. Next thing you know, he done been moonshine, and he used to drink 40 or whatever, all them alcohol from Arkansas. What does that got to do with the scriptures? I never understood that. And you wonder why. I said, let me go and see what's out here. Let me see. You know, Jehovah's Witnesses was not the only ones I was looking into. I was looking to Muslim and everything else. I just wanted to know why God talked to pastors and don't talk to me. Why he got to be special. That's my only understanding. That's why I got into it. Them scriptures is what guided me. I go by what the scripture said. Man can't tell me nothing. I'm not weak-minded whatsoever. When Prince and Larry would go on tour, you know, they told me, Lisa, please don't get in trouble. Because they know I would tell, I don't care Jehovah's Witness or not, I will read you your rights. Please don't let them vote nobody call us. Don't get in trouble, Lisa. Yeah. I don't play. I'm not no weak-minded person whatsoever. We all need our brains to be washed. Everybody needs their brains washed. And
Lisa,
another thing, Sherwin,
I got a question for you. Can you tell people either what happens or what the process is like if someone wants to leave the Church of Jehovah?
Well, if you want to leave the Church of Jehovah, bye. No,
Is that easy?
I mean,
they just let people just leave and just go on and pick another religion. They don't give them any trouble. There's no issues with somebody wanting to leave.
No issue, no anything. It's just like leaving any other religion. Just like I didn't leave being a Baptist. You know, I didn't leave the Baptist church or whatever. I asked my pastor at that time before I moved to Minnesota, can I have a letter to go, you know, take to another church so I can give them and show them that, you know, you've been a Christian, whatever, in church, whatever, for so many years. So I asked my pastor at that time for that letter. And he happened to say that, you know, he said, baby, I don't know no pastors in Minnesota. I don't know no churches in Minnesota. Now, I thought, you know, Baptist churches and pastors, they have conventions every year, so I assumed that they knew, you know, some of everybody. So I had to go to Minnesota to try to find me a Baptist church, which I had no idea about Minnesota or wherever, Minneapolis or whatever. So I happened to, you know, just go into a, you know, white Catholic church or whatever. No. And then I said, you know what? I promised the Jehovah's Witnesses that I will visit their congregation. I don't break promises. When I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I happened to find a Kingdom Hall right up the road from Paisley Park. I went to that Kingdom Hall. When I went to that Kingdom Hall, guess who walked in?
Prince.
Larry, Tina Graham, and Prince.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
I did not know of this. I just happened to just find that Kingdom Hall right at that point because I lived over there. I live in Eden Prairie. So I happened to find that Kingdom Hall right down from Paisley Park. I'm just driving, trying to find their congregation anywhere, any church, anywhere. And I ran into that Kingdom Hall. I went in there. I said, well, okay, I guess I'll go in here. You said, you promised. Because once again, I'm used to church. I come not to give you I come from that. I got to get my groove on. I got to get my gospel choir and everything. I'm used to that. Now I'm going to some place where I don't know nothing about. I went in there, sat down, I listened. I'm like, oh, okay. So and then after church, I went up to Larry Graham, and they remembered me. Larry and Tina Graham remembered me, which shocked me. And I said, well, where do you put your tithe and offerings at? They had no idea what I was talking about. I said, what you give the church or whatever. He's like, still, they had no idea what I was talking about.
Wait, Larry Graham, the singer?
Yeah, I called him Dad. Larry Graham, the bassist, yes. Yes.
Wait, the same Larry Graham that sang 1 in a Million?
Yes, Dad. I called him Dad. Yes. I thought I was going to Minnesota. I've been a Baptist Christian girl all my life, so I thought I was going to Minneapolis to be kind of bad, right? I thought it was going to be like a little bad girl, my daddy and Larry Graham broke that down. My dad called Larry Graham, and he had to keep an eye on me. That broke that down. So I was kind of, it is what it is. So, it's not like I just fell, like I was brainwashed. You can't brainwash me. First of all, when you got to study first.
Lisa, is it true that Jehovah's believe that only 144,000 people can go to heaven?
No, that I thought that because I told Larry that. I said, look, only 144,000 is going to heaven.
Because there's 8 million of y'all, so like 7.8 million of y'all is in trouble.
No, we didn't know. Jehovah's Witnesses didn't believe that. Baptist Christians believe that. No. Yeah, we didn't.
I don't know if that's what the Christian. We're not having a religious debate, Lisa. I know that you wanted to call and clear up some things you may have heard people say, but you should be used to this. Jehovah's have a bit of a reputation, and it shouldn't bother you because you have a relationship with Jesus and God and all the people, right?
Right.
So you believe in Adam and Eve, right? Is that a part of it?
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe the homosexuality is bad?
It's against the law, Jehovah's laws. Yes. Okay. It's not bad. I mean, yes, it's against his law.
So if somebody is born gay, like what do you suggest for them? Can they become a Jehovah if you're gay?
Well, you're not born gay, first of all, but yes, you can. Okay. That's your choice.
You just got to ungay yourself.
True, just like you should do the same thing at churches. You got to ungay yourself.
Question. So on the ungaying, how does one go about ungaying? For those that are listening that are gay and they're just tired of all this gay and they want to be not gay anymore, like where do you suggest they begin?
You know what? Studying the Bible.
Oh, sure.
Well, I have. You know what? You know how many
the Bible will
gay
just get that gay right out of you, pretty much, if you just read it.
You're right. Just read it. That's what we're saying. Just read the Bible for yourself. We're not trying to ungay you. We just want you to get. It doesn't matter what it is. Just get the whole understanding of what Jesus is about, why he came, and who Jehovah is. We have nothing to do with your sexuality. Me, I love you as a person. I don't care what you do in your bedroom. Your bedroom got nothing to do with me. You know how many gay men have come to me and want to, talk to me and interview me? I have no problem with that. Invite me to their parties, their, pajama parties.
Lisa, stop it. You've been to a gay pajama party? I know you had a ball.
No, I don't. He invited me, and I said, sweetheart, I don't do pajama parties at all. I really don't do parties. I barely went to Prince parties. I'm not a party person. I'm just not. And I said, sweetheart, I don't do parties. Nothing against you. And he knew that. And he said, you are a nice person. He said, I didn't know Jehovah's Witnesses were like that. Well, all Jehovah's Witnesses are not the same. As all people are not the same.
Lisa, did you ever do mission work? Did you go door to door?
Yes, I did.
And how did
Yes, I did.
Did people let you in the house?
Yes, people would let me in the house talking. Prince did the same thing, too. Yes, we all went out.
Lisa, stop it. Prince went door to door?
Oh, my goodness. Y'all have no idea.
No, seriously, we have no idea.
Oh, I don't know how you don't. When I say that man was a Jehovah's Witness, he was a strong. It's not nobody that I have met that Prince has introduced me to that he have not introduced to the Bible. Or to the Bible, not to Jehovah's Witness, but to the Bible. We're not introducing you to Jehovah's Witness. We're introducing you to the Bible.
Was he a Jehovah when he made the movie Purple Rain? Because he was doing very un-Jehovah. Okay, I was about to say, because he did some very un-Jehovah-like things.
Right.
But Prince's music was very sexually suggestive, Lisa.
Yeah, but you got to realize he didn't become a Jehovah's Witness until like 2003, 2004. He didn't become a Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't a Jehovah's Witness when he did Purple Rain or all that erotic city. Hey, I wasn't a Jehovah's Witness either. So, what are you talking about? No, he was not a Jehovah's Witness then. Sherwin, you are just uneducated on.
Oh God, yeah. On this, I'm on Prince's Jehovahness.
Yeah, and when I say he's devout, he was devout. He was devout. Look, he wanted me to meet Elton John. I don't know why, which was cool, but he wanted me to meet Elton John, and like I was brought. It's a whole different world when you're brought into the entertainment industry. But a lot of them, you'll be amazed who studied the Bible. Eddie Murphy, his first wife, Stevie Wonder. These are people that I was told, they said it's kind of hard to meet Stevie Wonder, so I don't know about that. But I was going to meet Eddie Murphy and all them people because they studied the Bible with brothers, brothers Larry Graham and Prince and all. You'd be amazed. Elton John, that's why I didn't realize Elton John and him was, that. I know Prince said it more he wanted me to meet Elton John, but I didn't realize they were that close.
Hey, Lisa,
I didn't
do you
realize
hear that music in the background? Do you hear it?
No,
You don't hear it? You might not be listening on your radio.
Oh, yeah, I hear.
Oh, you hear that? You know what this is, Lisa?
I hear it. Yep.
This is gay pajama party music. This is what they would have been playing had you went to the gay pajama party. But Lisa, we love you. Thank you for calling. Lisa. And let it play. Get that gay out of people. Let's get it out of them. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We'll be right back.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
When you open an Educators Credit Union checking account, you can say goodbye to surprise fees and hello to a whole lot of perks. Enjoy rewards, cashback, discounts, and card customization with their convenient digital services and nationwide network of over 60,000 fee-free ATMs. You can always access your account anytime, anywhere. Join Educators Credit Union today and take advantage of all the benefits that come with a checking account. Get started at ecu.com, federally insured by NCUA.
You want a challenge? Come and get the keys from Keys Ultimate Gaming. Experience a gaming experience like none other. Equipped with PS5s and Xbox consoles. Play any game from Roblox to Call of Duty. Come experience this futuristic arcade on wheels today. With friends, family, or catch them at your local events. Contact KeysGaming.com for booking. Keys Ultimate Gaming, where they bring gaming to you.
Truth Nation, it is Denise Thomas.
And Telly Hughes.
From Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. And guess what?
What is that, DT?
Our Truth fans can now watch and stream us live every day, Telly.
Wait a minute, Denise. Let me make sure I got this thing right. Our amazing and incredible Truth fans can go to 1017thetruth.com, click the watch live link, and watch me and you do our thing live from YouTube and Twitter every morning?
Yes, Telly, that is exactly right. So now, they can watch you almost lose your black card every Friday during our Truth Telling Hit segment.
Come on now. You know I'm never losing my black card. But Truth Nation, you gotta tune into all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows, as you can not only listen live on the app, but you can also stream us live all day, every day by going to 1017thetruth.com and clicking the Watch Live link.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Wisconsin.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
More of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
On 1017 The Truth's Sherwin Hughes for Axe Housing. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing will have a coach on staff that can assist you today. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan and stick to a budget and get you more money for down payment assistance. So if you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you should be. You can get started on a virtual home buying orientation by going to axhousing.org. That's ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially today get in the way of your bright future. Axe coaches are here to help. That's axhousing.org. And tune into the new 1017 The Truth's Business Spotlight on Thursday at 3:57 p.m. between the Tori Lowe Show and Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. They'll be joined by Ashley Lucas. Who will? Dr. Ken will be joined by Ashley Lucas. Yeah. No, somebody's going to be joined by Ashley Lucas now, VP and Business Lending Product Manager at Associated Bank. It says Ashley and I. I'm not talking to Ashley. So Ashley and somebody is going to be discussing why fraud prevention should be a priority for your small business. Again, tune into the Business Spotlight with Associated Bank this Thursday at 3:57 p.m. on the new 1017 The Truth. The Truth is now home of Marquette University High School football. Marquette Hilltoppers will hit the gridiron again this Friday night and take on the West Allis Central Bulldogs. Roof, roof. Kickoff is set for 7 p.m. High school sports on the award-winning 1017 The Truth is presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. I can say it in Spanish. Una llamada, nada más. Tune into The Truth this Saturday at 11 a.m. for another episode of More Than a Movement powered by Planned Parenthood Advocates. Carrie Noni will be joined by Sierra Kaler-Jones, Executive Director of Rethinking Schools, and Sarah Noble of the Be Noble Group. They will have an in-depth conversation on education. Oh, look, critical race theory. They're going to talk about that. And reproductive justice. Again, that's More Than a Movement powered by Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin this Saturday at 11 a.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Men, you should be for a woman's reproductive justice. It's crazy how a bunch of men are pro-life. It's so stupid. Let me tell you how men are not really thinking this through. Some men get it. Some men don't understand. Because, you know, fellas, if you're involved with a woman you're not supposed to be involved with, like, she's not your wife. It happens. I'm not going to judge you. People do things. And then the woman who's not your wife, she's pregnant. She's going to have the baby. Thank a Republican for that. Now you got to tell your wife that you got another baby on the way. How do you have that conversation? Like, where do you begin? How do you tell your wife? Is anybody willing to call in and share with us how they told that story? Is that too much? I mean, obviously, if your other woman had the baby, it ain't a secret. Like, do you take your wife out to dinner, flowers and candy? Do you buy her gifts? Or, like, how does that work? Am I asking a question that people won't answer, Rhea? Like, I'm genuinely curious as to how a man says, yeah, honey, sit down. You got to sit down for this one. She's like, oh, did something happen at work? It technically happened at a hotel room, but I just gotta tell you something. And maybe he'll start reminiscing. Honey, remember when we went on our first date? Oh my God, it was so nice. It was beautiful. I knew that I loved you then. Oh, I loved you too. And we had such a wonderful time together. This marriage has been beautiful. The marriage has been perfect. So glad I found you. I'm glad you found me too. And then he said, well, I'm about to ruin all of this. Huh? It's nothing that can be that bad. What is it, honey? No, it's pretty bad. Oh, no. Did somebody die? Did somebody get killed? Well, you might kill me. Oh, there is nothing that you could tell me that would make me want to kill you. You are my husband, and I loves you. And look at our beautiful 7 children we have. Well, about to be 8 children. Huh? I don't understand. I'm not pregnant. Well, somebody is. Is that how it goes? And she still isn't understanding. And then Axel 4027 said, Usher. Usher have a baby with somebody? Is Usher married? Usher not married, is he? Oh, the song Confessions. Yeah, maybe that's what you do. Oh, you just play the song Confessions to your wife. She like, I don't get it. I mean, I like this song, but why are you playing this for me? Well, take it literally. Sir Chauncey says, LOL, Sherwin, you're a damn fool for playing that vintage classic Sylvester. However, it's indeed a brilliantly suitable selection to complement the gay pajama party sentiment. Of all of the things that Lisa could have said, and she said a lot of stuff in previous calls and in today's call, I didn't think that she would ever have been invited to a gay pajama party. I'm assuming she's heterosexual because she read the Bible, and apparently if you read the Bible, it gets that gay right out of you. It sanitizes the gay out of you. Heterosexual women have a lot of fun with gay men. They totally do. They love it. They love because they can go to gay bars and do all sorts of stuff and not have to worry about men hitting on them. Really? Even though a gay man will hit on heterosexual women, it's usually just kind of playful if they're truly gay. 414-426 asked the question, who's knocked up? Well, no, I was asking the question of how does a married man tell his wife that he got another woman pregnant because, well, until recently, Planned Parenthood, I think they just started performing abortions again. But for a good, year and some change, or was that last year? What year is this, 23? Or was that this year? I think it was this year, when the Supreme Court overturned, or they turned abortions over to independent states to make their own decisions about how abortions will take place or not take place in that particular state. Like, how does a man, and that's why I'm expecting men to be much more pro-choice because, fellas, there's probably a woman that you're willing to sleep with and have slept with, but you don't want to have a baby with her. You don't want to. Child support is very unforgiving. You know, it's a bill for 18 years. And then you have that woman is going to be in your life for a long time. And so why more men are not pro-choice is beyond me. I don't get it. Those are probably men that don't get laid, right? That they want to get laid, the involuntarily celibate people. There's incels. They're very dangerous people, by the way. They're like a whole cult, involuntarily celibate men. Like, these are men that want to go out with women. They want to date women, but women don't ever date these guys, and they're angry. and they formed an online community. If you research it, it's really crazy. So I think they've shut most of their online forums down. But involuntary celibate men, these are men that want women, they want relationships, they want a date, but they just get rejected because of how they look or because of how they act, whatever the reasons are. Like, they want a woman, but women don't like them. They are mass shooters a lot of times. A lot of mass shooters, now some mass shooters are racist, but others are a part of the incel community. It's really, really messed up. And here I am thinking that pretty much, can't anybody get laid for the most part? You know, with a little bit of effort, isn't there somebody out there? I shouldn't just talk about just like sex. Isn't there someone out there for everyone? You know, maybe those men just need to go to a different place to meet women. They should come to the 3rd Street Market Hall. This place is a meat market. No, seriously, there's all sorts of people dating. And you know who I saw? I shouldn't tell you. I'm not going to tell you their name. Oh Lord, it's Al. Good Lord. Al's on the phone. There is a local television news anchor that I saw here a couple weeks ago. And he came and he sat down like 2 stools away from me. I'm hanging out having me a drink. Long day at work. Even though I was done at noon, went home, took a nap, came back. Long day at work. And this television, and I didn't say nothing to him, you know, because I'm sure he probably gets tired of people saying stuff to him. So he came and he sat down. And this woman came like 5 or 10 minutes later and sat down next to him. And it was, hey, nice to meet you. They did a little handshake and a little awkward hug. I'm watching the whole thing. Oh, you look a lot like your pictures. No, I'm serious, Rhea. He's not listening. He met a woman on the internet and then met her here at the 3rd Street Market Hall. So apparently online dating works. But I was shocked to see a news anchor man that some of y'all know because you see him on the news. Met an internet lady. Like, oh yeah, you look like your pictures. And I listened to their awkward small talk conversation. And they had silence. It was uncomfortable for everybody. I mean, I didn't stop watching. That stuff is fascinating to me. When people meet for the first time, internet dates are always very easy to spot in public. Very easy to spot because they happen all the time. All the time. I guarantee you, if you go out to a bar or a restaurant, you're going to have an awkward couple meeting for the first time in real life because they were talking on the internet. They were on one of these dating sites. It's very awkward, very uncomfortable. I've met a woman on the internet before. I should have left her ass on the internet too. Let's talk to Al. Hello there.
Hey, what up? What it do? First thing I wanted to say, with, men that's like that, if they're listening, you have to create your own audience. And that's going to be an audience just for you. Because see, if you don't lift and build yourself up, you're going to be putting that baggage on a woman. And a woman don't want to deal with that. So you got to create your own audience. And when you create your own audience, you have that audience, which is certain kind of women that like your type, your swag, your finesse. So I don't know if anybody tell y'all that, but create your audience. It's very simple. You have your choice and your picks. But you also have to be realistic because we live in a very superficial society where it's all about looks. But once you create your audience, you will have your picks and your choose just like everybody else. So I wanted to put that out there. Number 2, we have a lot of dating services here in the downtown area, and it's one right like maybe 3 blocks from where you work at, by the way. I'm not going to say the name.
Hang on a second, Al. When you say dating service, you ain't talking about Match.com. You talking about escorts.
No, I'm not talking about escorts. No, I'm not talking about escorts. It's a legitimate legal service where they set up single women with men to go out to lunch and try to see if they are a perfect match. It's not that far from 3rd Street Market Hall, by the way. So I wanted to put that out.
Wait, it's
there.
Like in a building? Like I could walk in the building
It's a building. It's a building, and it's very low key.
Oh,
very low key.
Oh, you mean Silk Exotic?
No, I'm not talking about Silk Exotic.
Oh.
This has nothing to do with Silk Exotic, but it's actually about 3 blocks away on Wisconsin, and it's a legitimate dating business where men will go have dates with single women, and it's professionally ran. It's 3 blocks from where you work. The other thing,
so you got to pay money. You pay some money, and they hook you up with something. Do they match you based on criteria, based on preference?
They match you based on the criteria versus if you want them a certain color, certain education, or whatsoever. But it's 3 blocks from where you work. Also, I know you was talking about Lisa. And this is my question. I don't understand. Well, Lisa, I guess they said they don't follow anything that's written by man, and they follow the scriptures. Well, Lisa, you do know the scriptures was written by man. And if y'all follow the same Bible as those Christians, you do know the Bible was rewritten 33,000 times. So what is the guarantee that the information you was getting is actually correct? And I know some Jehovah's as well, and they do not live their life towards that scripture. So it's a flip side to that, because some of those Jehovah's is even worse than some of them Christians, and that's even before they get drunk. So I just wanted to put that out there. Even though you read the scriptures, you are an independent thinker. You already knew how to think before that book. So I'm just saying this to you. Don't get caught up in the folklore and the fantasies, because somebody who is not a doctor, who do not know medical terminology or anatomy, is going to be telling a doctor who went to residency, medical school, and college about my body. All right? So you might want to double check, because what if one of them Jehovah's don't like you? They might tell them take both arms and another leg because they're no good. No, I'm just being honest, because I know some Jehovah's, and some of them Jehovah's I know, they're cutthroat. They're cutthroat. They funny acting, and they act certain ways. But it's because they chose the Jehovah to be a Jehovah. But they say they don't believe and celebrate, but they believe in doing everything else when the sun is down. So what the hell is that? And we're going to leave it there, Al,
because I got to take a break.
Well, I'm just down. Well, take a break and have a good day, everybody.
Right. Thank you.
Hump, hump. All right.
Okay, then. Had to end it with hump, hump, just for no reason. Hump, hump. You are listening to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, at 1017 The Truth. You also can listen online at 1017thetruth.com. I'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. The Truth with Sherwin Hughes will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by American Family Insurance. Milwaukee Black Talk.
Looking to buy your first house, expand it to a forever home, or simply want to refinance? At Associated Bank, we've got you. We believe that with the right lending plan and guidance, everyone can achieve their dreams. And Associated Bank is here to get you there. Because believe it or not, your financial goals are within reach. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Tory Lowe with his truth.
For the past few years, our team has been working tirelessly to address the issues that impact our community, from crime and violence to economic inequality and social justice. Through our interviews with local leaders, policymakers, and residents, we shed light on the challenges that Milwaukee faces and highlighted the innovative solutions that are making a real difference. We've also provided a platform for those whose voices have been ignored and silenced, ensuring that everyone has a seat at the table and shaping the future of our city. Thanks to our efforts, we have addressed the tough issues across Milwaukee, discussing ways to reduce crime and increasing access to vital resources and services. I believe that change starts on a grassroots level, and through our work, we are empowering individuals and organizations to make a positive impact in our communities. So tune in to the award-winning Tory Lowe Show and join us in our mission to create a better Milwaukee for us all. Together, we can build a brighter future for our city and residents. The Tory Lowe Show is making a positive impact on our community by raising awareness about important issues, providing a platform for marginalized voices to be heard, and inspiring action to take place towards positive change. Through thought-provoking discussions and engaging interviews, the show is encouraging dialogue and fosters a sense of unity and empowerment among community members. Join me every day from 1 to 4 on The Tory Lowe Show.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Tory Lowe Show weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. This is The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This is the last week to sign up for our Black-owned business give back. If you want $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising on 1017 The Truth for 3 whole months, go to blackbusinessgiveback.com right now. Free ads for your business valued at 6 G's. Do not miss out on this opportunity. Go to blackbusinessgiveback.com to sign up for official contest rules. Same website, blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank member FDIC. So LT, you were right. It's called It's Just Lunch, and they're located at 250 East Wisconsin Avenue. Al was also correct. So you just walk in there and say, hey, give me somebody. Is that how it goes? Let's see. It's Just Lunch, matchmaking services for professionals. Our passion, decades of experience, and signature process make It's Just Lunch the #1 personalized dating service in the world. Well, let me see what it says here. Click on the link. There's 2 white people on the homepage. Meet your match. With over 32 years experience, our professional matchmakers are here to help you navigate the dating scene. So why wouldn't you just go to an online website? Like, who shows up in person? Let me see. Start your dating journey. Region, North America. Country, United States. City, Milwaukee. Confirm location. All right. It's thinking. Loading. Still loading. Ain't nothing coming. Oh, there we go. It's Just Lunch difference. Meet face to face. We guarantee you will go out on dates, face to face dates, real dates, because that's the only way to tell if there's chemistry. Private experience. No apps or dating profiles for the world to see. We keep your journey with us confidential. Oh, this is for cheating. White glove service. From match selection to restaurant reservations, we are your dating concierge. Spend your time dating instead of searching. Hand-selected matches. Feedback from you after your dates help our professional matchmakers curate your future matches. What was that show? Where they hook people up and they would film the dates. It was a bunch of dating reality shows. It was on in the early 2000s. And they have like those little pop-up little blurbs where they would ad-lib like what was going on. What the hell was the name of that show, you guys? You know exactly what I'm talking about. They would hook up. Oh, my God. Somebody knows it. I'm going to read the text messages. What's the name of that dating show? It was on in the early 2000s. They would match people up, and they'd film the entire date. They'd go to dinner. They'd have drinks. They'd always end up in a hot tub by the end of the night. Eliminate. No, Eliminate is one of them, though. Maybe it was Eliminate. And they would be one woman. They would go out on several dates, and they'd film the dates. I guess I don't have time to talk about why Gen Z can't buy into the American dream. I've been trying to do that story for I don't know how many days. Lisa, when she called, she messed the whole thing up. Sonny B said the Love Boat. No, it's not millionaire matchmaking, Al. Sir Chauncey says, sounds like a cool place, but only has a 3.5 star rating. Quote, 3 blocks over from where you work, Sherwin, you going to stroll your curiosity, kill the cat ass over to check it out to see what's on the menu? I will not. 414426 says, now Al calling in on Hump Day, I'm beginning to form an idea of the origins of the term Hump Day. This got to be Get Your Weed Whacked Wednesday. You guys are perverts. Brittany says, you're always trying to hook people up, LOL. Why don't you go out with Linda? We'll leave it there. Have a good day.
Do you need a way to uplift your fellow woman? Have you ever wished you could do more to serve your community, but just don't have the time? You can do this and more by helping Good Karma Brands support Women Build through Habitat for Humanity. And all you have to do to help is donate. The link to donate will be open until September 30th. Just go to MilwaukeeHabitat.org. Again, that's Women Build and MilwaukeeHabitat.org. And be sure to check out 1017 The Truth social media for a behind-the-scenes look of our team building a new home in the Harambe neighborhood.
Coming with straight truth.
In my lifetime, I've watched, well, we got to intercede when they're in high school. We got to intercede when they're a junior. Intercede when they're a sophomore, freshman. Got to intercede when they're in 8th grade. It's the time in between. Oh, no, it's 6th grade. It's 5th grade. Now we're talking 3rd grade. So at what point will we figure out it's a good time?
Listen to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr.